So let's have a go at this and see if it works. So, pork bracioles, jar. I've already put some tomato sauce in. It's homemade, and we'll see if we can get 3 in here. That'll be about right. So that one. Just fry them off for a little bit of colour, and then we'll go for that. Can we get that one in as well? Yes, just. So squish down, and then top up with, well, wash hands, because we've been touching semi-raw pork. So, and then top up with homemade tomato sauce. Give it a bit. Bang down to get rid of some of the air bubbles. A little bit more sauce because I think there'll be some air that wants to come to the top during the cooking process. So we'll see how this goes. So then, lid on. It's all nice and clean, and then put in a pan like that in there, and then we'll cover it with cold water and bring it slowly up to the boil, and then we'll kind of time it so it's cooking about the same amount of time as the pork bracioles are already cooking in the pan, and I think that will work. So when they're cooked, as long as they're roughly at the same temperature, that should be cooked as well. But just a little bit of a side experiment while we're doing something else. Straightforward. That's the pork braciole in the water there. That's slowly coming up to temperature. So it'll probably take a minute. So once, I reckon, that's come up to temperature a lot longer than that. So that'll probably want an hour longer than that does, because we need to slowly bring that up to temperature. So that'll take so I'll aim on about an hour longer cooking for that than that. Well, when that comes off, that'll be another hour. Not that it's getting an extra hour with the cooking, it's just that we need to do that at a slower temperature and bring it up. Otherwise, the glass is going to crack. If you heat it up too much, cold ingredients inside the glass, hot liquid on the outside, then the glass will shatter all that. That's not what we want. So, cold water, cold ingredients inside, slowly bring up to the boil, and then a slow simmer. This is the braciole that we cooked in the jar 3 weeks later. Let's have a look at it. It's not, top's not blown or anything like that, so it's not started fermenting. It's been in the fridge, but I would have thought if something was going to happen with it, it would have happened by now. So it looks like it's safe to cook braciole in jars. I suppose it took quite a while for the water. The water was cold when I put the jars in the water, and it took maybe an hour and a half to kind of bring it up to temperature, and then it was cooking on a simmer for at least 5 hours, and then it cooled down in the water, so highly likely that it was cooking for another 2.5, 3 hours at a decent temperature before it started to cool down and stop cooking it. So probably cooking for about 8 hours in all. So it should be nice and tender. We'll have a see. Smells alright. Smells alright. Just going to be a bit of a awkward to get it out, but we'll have a look. I'm not going to heat it up. We'll be able to tell if it's tender just by the feel of it. More of an experiment more than anything else, just out of curiosity. I was thinking potentially I've had trouble when I preserve things that have had a dairy product in them they wanted to ferment. So I kind of think that it's probably that it doesn't get up to a high enough temperature like an ultra heat treated milk, which has a really long shelf life. It's because it's only coming up to 100 degrees and then staying at 100 degrees for a small amount of time, not cooked under pressure. It's probably that's why the milk probably wants to start fermenting when I put it in things like soups and then try to jar soups. So still got the string on, so we'll just whip a bit of string off like that, and then we'll cut into one. Feels tender, looks tender, and it's falling to bits. Is that quick taste? yeah, that's really nice. That works. I'll keep the other one, the other jar, in the cupboard. In fact, I'll take it out now because it was in the fridge. But I did 2 jars. So this one, so we know that would certainly last. These certainly last 3 weeks, kept in the fridge. So I'll put one in the cupboard, and then we'll kind of see how long it lasts. If it starts to ferment inside and the top starts to blow. So we'll just use that as an experiment, and there'll be an update on that when I open it. It might be in 6 months' time, something like that. But we'll see how we go. If it starts to ferment, then I'll have a record of when it went in the cupboard, and we'll be able to see. But there we go. That works. Success.